Nothing much really.
I was listening to the Drunken Peasants podcast a second ago. It seems like Paul's pissed off at Pitmonk. I don't know why.
Sounds.
Oh, we're live? We're live?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I got like copyrighted video game fucking music going on my goddamn background. Let me move away from this for a goddamn second. All right, help me get my camera on. Fuck, you gotta tell a guy. You gotta tell a guy. You can't just be like, yo, we're live. You didn't even say it. I just saw it pop up in the fucking screen.
Anyway, so, ladies and gentlemen, like my friend Walter said, I should have mentioned we were going live. I thought, might as well just do a random hangout
what the
video.
fuck? Random what the fuck, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So,
Nope. That did not work.
So,
that'll work. How's my camera?
It seems
damn,
fine.
my buddy's calling me. My friend is gonna manic call me right now. He got nowhere to go. He wants to hang out, probably.
So, Walter.
So, I mean, what's been like fucking buzzing your change, man? How you feeling about these dicks out for Harambe thing?
I have no idea what you mean.
Like, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because my audio cut it out a little on this end because of the call, but damn it. Dicks out for Harambe. People have been going off and on about that. This guy recently got his ass kicked by a bunch of feminists because he had his dick out, which he should get his ass kicked for pulling his dick out. But I guess the hashtag or the whole thing, dicks out for Harambe.
Oh, Jesus.
Like there's t-shirts, meth pipes made out of Harambe.
Oh, my God. I mean, that's just horrifying. I mean...
You don't know? You're like the Harambe go-to like guy, man. When people are like going off the chain about Harambe, you're there like the scolding father. Like, calm down for a second. Is this really what you want to be remembered to be? And then you're like, okay, Dad, I'm sorry. But you're not there, James. The world's on fire. They need your disciplining, stern, fucking stop it voice.
Look, I honestly think it's, look, if people want to protest for the death of Harambe, by all means, I'm all for those protests, but look, I mean, there should be reasonable protests, though. It's like...
It's not even protest anymore, James. It's about the memes. James, it's all about the memes.
To be honest, I've actually been, watching a lot of my old VHSs that I got. And I've been keeping up, like, with a lot of crazy political shit. Crazy. Yeah, Walter, what's your, opinion on, Clinton and Trump supporters as a collective whole?
My opinion on Trump supporters?
Yeah.
Well, how does one make an opinion on a whole political movement without seeming judgmental? I personally believe you have the right to believe whatever you choose to believe and whatever makes you feel to believe that belief. And it's not right for anybody to impede upon that free thought of having that belief. To sum up as a whole in general, I mean, it's sort of like the Joker. I think half the people are in it because they just want to watch the world burn. Varangards care enough about the politics because, I mean, an educated person can see Trump's not really economically biased and fit and has that finesse and chezevoi of like being a fucking president. You know what I mean? He doesn't have what we want to look like to the whole world. But considering the voice of our country right now, which is completely schizophrenic between fucking, you got the Hillary, and then you got pop culture, and you got music and all that other things. I mean, like, I think a Trump supporter is just a fad, and it's either going to be proving to be a passing fad or a permanent fad.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Yeah. Yeah, look, I honestly think that this election made the left more politically correct and the right wing more paranoid.
I mean, everyone's been flipping out. I thought you threw in the fucking chain. I thought you threw in gloves after they done with Bernie. I remember you were saying there, "I'm fucking done. I'm done. This shit is rigged." You still know it's rigged. Everyone knows it's fucking rigged. It's been rigged out from the get-go. Bernie got fucked over right out from the get-go.
Oh yeah.
He knows it. But we have been following this, and we're just like, all right, let's support Hillary to not put Trump in the office. But we got the lesser of two evils, but they're both evils.
Oh yeah. Pendulite said one time that when you vote for the lesser of two evils, you're still voting for evil. It's like, how is someone who's less shitty than the other person still better? Their person's still evil.
Well, being evil is like defined. I mean, you got to consider it's going to be the people that are going to put Trump in the office. It's going to be the people that are going to be putting Hillary in the office. Granted, in mind, they're not doing this on their own. They themselves have people paid off, granted, very good hackers, granted, but still, it is the people. So thereby, by putting evil in power, we represent then ourselves. America is then defined by evil.
Yeah, I see where you're completely coming from. It's utterly ridiculous. I love how how you have the Hillary supporters to say things like, "Oh, Hillary may be corrupt, she may be a liar, but at least she's better than Trump." But at the same time, though, they'll defend her when you bring up her emails or anything like that.
Well, I actually looked at the emails. Like, I got nothing better to do but to fucking read things and to say that I got my facts straight. I looked up at the Hillary emails and everything like that. If you go on to the brass tacks, there's really nothing there that they've pulled out that's like, unlike when they say there's not really like, things that are like personal security. There's nothing on there about personal security, but there is hints and leaks about, sex trade and, the things that happened with the Queen of England and the other parliaments, the one that just fucking dropped out, Tony Blair, I think, was it? Fucking just dropped out because of the Brexits or something like that they call it.
Brexit, yeah.
And all this other stuff. There's these internal rings. Call it conspiracy or what you will, but it's been happening for about 90 to 100 years.
Wow.
It just came notice to the fucking Yale. Like Hillary Clinton and Bush, those are all skulls and bones in Yale coming out of Connecticut. That's where these fraternities are coming out of. Texas and Connecticut. Skulls and Bones and another one. I think John Kerry was Skulls and Bones. Bush was Skulls and Bones. But it's just like, you got Trump. I don't think he's part of any of the Skulls and Bones. And then you had Bernie Sanders, who's probably just a kindly old man trying to make his way down the road. I mean, a fucking bird flew on a goddamn podium. An eagle bit Trump.
I remember that.
And an eagle bit Trump, and fucking birds don't like Hillary. They can't fucking stand the woman.
Yeah. I find it funny, I mean, this election changed my political ideology, but it's like, like as soon as the Democrats, were exposed to freaking Bernie right from the get-go, I had to leave the party. I couldn't stay a Democrat. I mean, who could be a part of a party that rigs it for the other candidate? I mean, it's okay.
But you think, hold on, and I don't mean to disrespect, but you think you're smart by leaving the party or becoming a different party, and that's how they fucked us. They fucked us because we represented ourselves as not in the part of their party. It's sort of like an old Trojan horse thing. They were able to categorize us and basically separate our votes because of our, political point of views. Smart way to go about it would be, how do we make it so they can't use that against us again?
Hmm.
Because that's what they did. They used our strive for independence and our grassroots movements right up against us and fucked us right in the ass. Just like really
Yeah.
smart people do.
I think the Democrats are going to make it much harder for another progressive candidate like Bernie to ever run again. Much harder.
No, he's going to go again. I believe Bernie Sanders is going to go again. I think he's probably going to be president probably after this whole Trump-Hillary fiasco if he chooses on running. But I'd really like to see Ron Paul go again. Something about that old man. I trust him more than Bernie. I don't even know why. And I'm not looking at all. But just something about Ron Paul speaks true to me.
Well, the thing with Ron Paul and other libertarians is that they make their right when it comes to economics, but they make their left when it comes to social issues. Especially, libertarians are very, laid back on marriage. It's like the position is government shouldn't be involved in marriage, and I completely agree with that. It's like, why should the government tell you you can't marry your fifth cousin? It makes no sense.
No, I agree with that 100%. But I honestly believe what happens between two adult age consenting adults should be respected. I mean, consider New Jersey. You got fucking, I think it's fathers marrying their daughters down there. And you know who we got to thank for that? The all-powerful Chris Christie there. Oh, yeah, look at that chubby piece of shit loving his donuts. I bet you he's just nodding his head drinking a coffee right now. Chicken. Smiling ever so.
Or he's still in his Princess Leia slave outfit, eating,
No, don't even give him credit for that Princess Leia slave outfit. He's in that, man. He's like hitting up the TR or the fucking tranny community like fucking fire. Man, let's give him full credit, man. He'll be there. He'll give him his own fucking balloon there on Rainbow Day.
Oh, good God.
He'll be throwing fucking candies out there wearing a swimsuit. It'll be great.
Oh,
Trump says
Jesus.
it's going to be great. You'll have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Christie is like one of those like people that you can't help but make fun of.
You can't trust him. You can't trust him either. None of them fucking guys. The only one though, the one that scared me though the most was, I'm not gonna lie, and I know no one's talking about Ted Cruz, but that man was fucking frightening.
Oh yeah, it's like what made Ted Cruz scary was the fact that he used his whole evangelical religion as if it had to be the law of the land.
Right.
And that never leads anywhere good.
Well, he wanted to mention like the pseudo religion, the law of the land, but that's not why I fucking scare him. The fact is, I've even heard testimonies via Reddit, old fucking roommates and shit. He don't give a fuck about religion. He just wanted to take over the world. His drunk ass released a video when his fraternity day saying, someday I'm going to take over the world because daddy and mommy are going to fly and spot for me.
Wow.
He got it. He likes porn just like the rest of us. He likes putting his hand into that. Dude, that man's done some fucked up shit to people that know him, I imagine, because look at him. Just fucking put Ted Cruz in your head and just tell me you don't want to kill yourself.
Ted Cruz is just a creepy guy in general. I mean, he's so creepy. His daughter doesn't even want to be seen near him.
Oh my God. Though, speaking about daughters or little girls that don't want to be seen by people, I was like way back in the day. I don't know if anyone's referencing it anymore, but you remember Biden when he was trying to go hug this little girl back in the day and she was just not having it?
Not really.
There's a video like circling on the internet. I think it was like a year ago or something like that. It was like a commencement speech or something like that. And this little girl was going to get hugged by Biden. And she was just like, okay. And he was like really into it. He was like really into giving her the hug. And she could not want nothing more than to fucking not be hugging.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
I think Obama can hug children. I don't think people like Ted Cruz. I wouldn't trust Trump with my child, actually. If I had a child, I mean, would you let Trump fucking hold your child for a minute? Because if he gets distracted, that baby's going to be flung into the audience and fed on by the vampires that support Trump.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust Trump with any children. It's it's ridiculous how, that all these accusations or um, claims that Trump is a child pedophile, it is questionable if we
I
want
know it's
someone like.
oh, wait a minute. I know where that's coming from. He might be fucking one of those guys who are involved in child trafficking with their shadowy business deals and everything like that, but they all are. When you come up to the upper inner sanctions of the aristocrats and everything like that, they're all in child plea. And if you look at it right now, what's happening in the Philippines, President Duterte has already, I think it was like 2,100 people in his country have been killed by other civilians because he basically said, if you know a drug addict in your area or somebody who's using drugs, don't report to the police, just kill them. Do this for your country and you'll be rewarded. The UN is going on sanctions right now, and that is going to have backlash on the sex trade when it comes to through Australia and even here in the North Atlantic.
Yeah. I want to take a moment to put into anybody who's watching this that you have a show. You want to talk about it? It's a brilliant satire show.
We got together and we do this show called The Box Society. It's on a Facebook page called The Box Society, and we got a few episodes up. We try to change up who's going to be the cast. It's basically a talk show improv. We don't really try to particularly talk about things that make sense, more or less things that are interesting. And that's about it. It's called The Box Society, and if you want to go check it out, get a like. We'll probably be up putting new episodes out sometime in a week or so. On that note.
Yeah, but yeah, people, seriously, check it out. I mean, it's so good with the satire that when you talked about the kid biting the ankle off the teacher, I thought that was real for a second. I had to snope that.
Remind me again what you just said.
It was like the 6-year-old having rabies or something, giving the teacher rabies.
Oh, yeah. 6-year-old kids having rabies, fucking ripping out the jugular veins of their teachers. No, that's the thing. That's the thing. But that wasn't like the main emphasis on the report, though. The report was the child got suspended for reporting it. She got suspended for reporting it, and the teacher, in fact, that ended up dying.
Wow.
But thank you for the plug, my friend.
No problem. Look, I want to, talk about like main new things that like funny shows and interesting shows that are on social media, because I feel that a lot of people do these videos all the time that have no reason to be there. It's like, how you turn on the news and it's, they're talking about a disaster in America, but everybody knows about it. And your show it is different from that. It's like talking about shit that the media won't even talk about.
No, yeah, pretty much. I just wanted to basically, like, my idea behind the Box Society, me and my buddy's idea basically is to have something while you're on the shitter.
Okay.
Or like, you got the whole videos and the Facebook videos and stuff like that, and you wake up in the morning and you have what if you pick up the newspaper and you got Donald Trump raping some guinea pig? You're like, I don't want to see that shit. So it's like, come on the Box Society and listen to the top 10 reasons why we find that people have trust issues with juggalos. I mean, most of the reasons they are self-claimed.
Yeah.
But we could have some more episodes up soon. We're just working on flags and stuff like that. Thinking about just fucking doing it the way we're doing it.
Walter and I have something in common. We're very retro in the sense that we collect 90s entertainment, and Uh, so mm, I want to know what your opinion is on VHS tapes compared to DVDs or Netflix at that.
Well, for me, I have the collector's mentality. It's like I have this feeling that everything is going up in the air into the cloud and we're going to have no solid media. But I've also been proven wrong in my theory. It's like I believe like having a cassette tape, you're going to be able to play it for long thereafter. But when I was playing the Green Mile the other day, I really was basing my whole day on ending it and smoking a joint and watching some Green Mile. And it's a really good movie. It's just a really good movie. It's well done. It's immersed, and the way I have my whole game room set up is it's just a nice master closet, and I got my couch in there, I got my VCR in there, I got my PS2 in there, I got my laptop in there. I can sit there and watch YouTube videos and jerk off at the same time. But that's not here nor there. Anyway, for me, VHS tape for me, it's just like I guess it's the box. I guess for me, and it's the fact that someday, like maybe the power is going to go out or something like that. Like, granted, SD cards are probably a lot better and more compact to put in, but I don't know. I think it's the box. I think it's the box and the way it gets sent in. If like you order a VHS tape in the mail and you got to unwrap it, it's almost like getting a Christmas present. I don't know. It's like the commodity. Like everything is in a box for me. Like this right here's a shitty PS2 game, but it's worth money. It's rare. Dynasty Warriors 6. Picked it up for $6. Easily flip it for 35 because it's got its worst game of the series though.
Yeah, I share your sentiment on VHS is on like the nostalgic reason why people collect them, and I bought all 3 Indiana Jones films at my local Salvation Army store and all that. And also Sleepless in Seattle. Oh my God, worst film I've ever seen. Oh. Have you ever seen the film?
Sleepless in Seattle?
Yeah.
Not yet. It's one of those Tom Hanks movies I'll probably get onto. I'm just not really at a point in my life where I can take it seriously. That's like somebody who's seeking love and then they find that wonder with a significant other. For me, I find that I'm more self-complacent. So like I like the whole action-oriented things or like thrillers. Like a good movie like I seen recently was not recently, but a good movie for a long time, in my opinion. Shutter Island was a good one.
Shutter Island?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fantastic Martin Scorsese film. I mean, it's and also I don't understand how Leonardo DiCaprio did not get a nomination for that film. His performance in that was amazing.
It was a really good movie. I gotta mention though, the new Cloverfield movie with John Goodman was fucking dead on. If anyone deserves an award, that's John Goodman for that role, man. He was something else in that role.
Haven't seen Cloverfield 10 yet. Yeah, but it's amazing how you have a lot of these like remakes and reboots that are coming out, and no one's asking for them. And the box office is showing that.
Yeah. I've done the whole Suicide. What's it called again? Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Well, actually, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. The Suicide Squad, like in my opinion, all right, I want to actually start about the Killing Joke. I'm going to go on a rant about that. Like the Killing Joke, have you seen that, or that's not your flavor of tea?
I haven't seen that yet, even though I do want to. I think it's the only rated R Batman film.
It is. I want to talk about it, but if you haven't seen it yet, I don't want to ruin it for you. But I mean, there's like some pot. Like it was good. It was good, but the filler, there was a lot of filler in it, and it's consistent with the universe. And I hate when they switch up the whole universe things. Like, you got fucking this Batman, but you got slightly variantly different Batman, and then you got like hermetically sealed Batman, and then you got like all these different like universes and everything, which means you can't really find like consistency. And like for superheroes and stuff like that, for a child or anyone like looking up and fantasizing about, you know, the modern day superheroes, it was the availability to like look upon these people as like you know, people to look up to, like fun heroes. But now it's just at the point where there's no fucking way you can relate to any of them, really. Unless you're like a billionaire.
Yeah. I think some of the best Batman films are the Christopher Nolan ones.
You mean the guy who likes putting rape in a lot of his movies?
What?
Christopher Nolan, he's known for putting a rape scene in every movie for some fucking reason.
That I have had no idea about.
He's like, he did it with Superman. He's done like weird scenes in Batman versus Superman. It's like Christopher Nolan, you know, like I guess he's good, but it's like I guess it's like you gotta take him with the same grain of salt as you would M. Night Shyamalan. You know what I mean? M. Night Shyamalan is really good on fucking TV shows, but
Wayward Pines, I think.
Yeah, I like Wayward Pines. I like that show a lot. I'm actually watching not an M. Night Shyamalan movie, but I'm trying to get through season 2 of Strain right now. But no, M. Night Shyamalan, he's got good, like a lot of his movies that people didn't like Lady in the Water, I could take it and leave it, but I'm not going to hate on it. You know what I mean? I take it for what it is. The Village, people shit on that movie when they gave you the conclusion, but I thought the work up to that conclusion before I knew what was going to happen, that was cool. I was mind-fucked. The Village mind-fucked me. Like, literally, and that's what he went out to go. People say, oh, that's a horrible movie. And then you're like, oh, yeah, The Village is shitty, and then you tell people the end. The reason why that movie was shit is because everyone's like, oh, it's shit because they weren't satisfied with the ending, and now everyone else has got a, Not right now, John. Anyway, but yeah, it's like but I guess like he fucked up Dragon Ball Z. Like, I don't know what the fuck that.
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan, you know, I think his best film in years that came out was The Visit.
I don't know if I've seen that yet.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's where these kids, M. Night Shyamalan basically makes fun of himself. These grandkids visit their grandparents, and it's really good. It's mocking how directors make horror movies today compared to how horror movies should be. But it's not only suspenseful, but it's funny at the same time. And it's not, you know, funny in the sense that it's bad, but it's funny in the sense that you're M. Night Shyamalan's making fun of himself. And it's, oh my god, such a great film.
Isn't well, if you want to talk about shows and films though real quick, I got to bring up like the show right now that is just, I really think it's just so well done, it's worth watching, is Mr. Robot. If anyone wants to get into that fucking show, just get in there. If you like, oh well, how am I gonna get in the show? I just got internet. Fucking put a message in the comments of this stream. Make sure you got your ass to some adware. I'll get you to watch that show. Guarantee, it's a link away. But Mr. Robot, fucking amazing. A little bit Fight Clubby, but everything's gonna be a copy of something else these days. So we gotta take its individuality for what it is. But yeah. Oh my god, Mr. Robot is a good show to try.
Yeah, I was thinking about watching it, but then, you know, I completely forgot when it was gonna be on.
Where if you have any you got ad protection on your computer?
I have Comcast.
Do you have an ad blocker?
I don't know.
You need to get yourself an ad blocker, and if you get that ad blocker out activate it in your browser, and then I could send you a link that goes right directly to the show. It'll run just like Netflix. You just want to knock off the ads because that's where you're going to get your malware and shit.
Oh. So I noticed this is a trend in television lately, but like a lot of these crime shows, they have either too many rape scenes or too many scenes where children get hurt. I don't understand it.
What shows in particular are you talking about? Special Victims Unit or CSI or?
Yeah, shows like that. They always have.
Typically cater to rape scenes and fucking women at home at 12 in the afternoon. They're not gonna stop. The rape makes money.
I mean, I think the Law and Order episode that wasn't about rape or children being murdered was that stupid Gamergate episode.
Oh my God. Yeah, I tried watching that for 5 minutes, but
so embarrassing.
It's like the No Man's Sky is like gonna be the new Gamergate. Watch, people are so pissed off about that shit.
Oh, and speaking about Gamergate, that was like 2-3 years ago. For those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, a popular YouTuber, Anita Sarkeesian, claims that she got death threats from people. And so she made a video about it saying how, everyone's sexist because every guy hates women in video games and all that, which is clearly not true.
Did she say that specifically, that every guy hates women in video games?
Yes.
Say that guys use video games as tropes in order to sexualize women.
Yeah. What's with this whole thing?
It's all in the wording. She's insulting you at the same time, but she's particular on the wording. I must hand it to Anita Sarkeesian. She's a very smart businesswoman. But on a sense, though, when I always want to counter that argument with, okay, so the first thing you do is when you pop in Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, or these Grand Theft Auto games or these Hitman games and things, the first things you do is try to validate your point by trying to be as worst as you can with your playable character to get video footage. When she's on women in Hitman, and she's killing prostitutes in Grand Theft Auto, like, hey, look, I'm killing a prostitute. Yeah, you're killing a prostitute. You're playing that game. You're sexualizing that woman. And then she's putting that hate and putting it on everyone else. Sort of like, hey, you should eat Brussels sprouts for the rest of your life, so I'm going to chain you to a blanket, chain you to the fucking basement, and put a funnel in your mouth and force feed you fucking Brussels sprouts until you turn 35. But then you end up going to Albuquerque because why? Because Weird Al, that's fucking why.
People like Anita Sarkeesian on YouTube are very contradictory to themselves, because it's like, on one hand, they're trying to raise awareness of something that could be a potential problem. I get that. But on the other hand, they're fine with men being sexualized in video games. Well, it's hypocrisy.
Sexualized by women. And an apparent fact, if you're ever on these social networks, Meet Me, and you guys know the rest of them and everything like that. It's one of those sites that you can hook up and, just for chatting and stuff like that. Well, all these posts and comments, it's like, oh, why can't I find a decent guy? Why is everyone going to talk about sex? And why can't every conversation turn to sex? I always come to the conclusion when I'm thinking about these situations, it's because you are in a sexualized area. You are in an area that is basically for people having sex. Even though it says it's not, they are utilizing it as such. You are aware of this fact, but now you're playing victim.
I feel, though, it's like, like, people that are too politically correct and like make these like social justice warrior videos on YouTube, they're like, they try to prevent people from, doing something that comes natural to everyone. It's like, how can you curb a mentality that sex is evil and offensive, and that and prevent yourself from having those urges? I don't understand it.
Remember,
I don't.
Remember this little riddle. Those who are sexually repressive are more than likely sexual aggressive.
I mean, that's true. I mean, look at so many of these politicians who say they're against, gay marriage and all that. But I think
how many of them have rape allegations?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And also, I bet half of these guys who say they're against gay marriage are the same guys who are gay themselves.
Well, it's like being gay isn't a surprise anymore, man. That's the great thing about it. Like if you're pansexual, if you're gay, it's not a big deal. But I mean, like the only thing about a Trump presidency, to go back to the beginning that you were talking about, and sorry, like my audio was like weak, so I could barely hear you. Basically, I believe like we were going 2 steps forward. Trump, if he gets into election president, there's going to be a lot of rescinding on state legislature on gay marriage, because Trump is just going to leave it to the state. And his vice president is the guy that where it all started from. Like the whole Mike Pence was the Illinois or one of those Indiana. Was he? Yeah, he was the one of the
Indiana governor.
He was the initial governor that started the whole businesses don't have to serve gay people cake if they chose not to. He's the one who put in the legislator that made it so they can still deny gay people cakes. That's who's in vice president. So what is that going to say about the country in a whole in 2 years? Because, I mean, I don't know who's pushing Trump. I did hear Dwayne fucking talking about Trump positively and whatnot, but I think he's just fed up with the whole fucking shit and wants to suck Milo, that guy's cock. Yeah, I don't blame him. That guy's like, he's pretty cool and whatnot. So, I'm not going to blame the guy for going where he's going right now. He's sort of like the Joker and wants to watch everything burn because, the burners. But I think that we're forgetting at the end game here is that if Trump gets in the office, Mike Pence is in office, we're going to go backwards again. We're going to go backwards. We're not only going backwards, we're becoming ignorant.
Yeah, I also think, though, what I find funny is that, and not even the media is talking about it, there's an AIDS problem in Indiana. And
I tried to bring that up before.
There's an AIDS problem, and Mike Pence is to blame for it. It's
How is Mike Pence to blame for the AIDS problem?
He closed down all Planned Parenthoods, and he basically told the churches you could tell people that condoms and birth control are a sin.
No, he didn't essentially like make it more of a problem. He just made it more of an inconvenience to find out if you have AIDS. That's that religious right fucking making things harder than they have to fucking be. You know what I mean? Because you got to think of it there in their sense of the logic. Now that they're denying people with AIDS and gays fucking gay treatment, you're gonna get a form of the population that's just gonna fucking die, or it's gonna spread rapidly.
Yeah.
Hetero community. It's gonna spread into the hetero community.
Yeah.
But
it's like the AIDS all over again.
A lot of people are going to get flack on this and say it's kind of homophobic, but the truth thing is that a lot of it does come from like the AIDS community, in the sense that they have these fucking thing called bug chasing parties and bareback parties where they specifically go to have bareback sex to get AIDS. It's called gift giving. And that is something that's on the rise. That's something that's on the rise these days too. If you look on any Craigslist, you'll see a bunch of people trying to have parties with HIV or looking for HIV or something like that.
Why in the hell would anybody do that to themselves?
I know a documentary. I could send you a documentary later. It was made in the early 90s. It kind of like fell off the grid for a while, but now it's coming back up again. And I've been finding like ads locally, even here in Plattsburgh. I look everywhere in that Craigslist and shit just to make fun of fucking people. Yeah, people are out there. Get some AIDS.
While we're on the topic of LGBT stuff, last night I found a very disturbing article. It's from like 2015 and all it. And as someone who's pansexual, I'm all fine with transgender people being transgender. But even for me, there's like a limit where, like I say, okay, this is just bizarre. There's a 53-year-old man, now he's 53, who identifies as a transgender 6-year-old girl.
Yeah, that's a mental illness. I know exactly what article. I brought that up a couple of years ago. That's an older article. This guy, yeah, me and Ethan had it out about that, and I agree that that's like one of those examples. Now, God, I'm gonna get so much hate for this, but I am very universal. I believe you are who you are consensually. If you're the age of 18, I'll even go as low as 16 when you can decide if you want to be a boy or a girl, or if you feel that you are or not. I don't believe children should be fucking wearing girls' clothes if they're a boy, if they're like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, because they're fucking children. And this guy, and there's also a fine line between trans and mental illness. And I'm not saying that all trans people are mentally ill. I'm saying that there's probably a majority, just like there is in the hetero community, that have mental illness. In fact, 85 to even 92% of everybody on this fucking planet has some form of depression, ergo some form of personality disorder. So if a 15-year-old kid wants to fucking don on a wig and pretend he's a fucking woman, maybe he has a borderline personality defect, but you're just like, you're not taking care of the problem. And children don't know what they want. That's why they're children. This guy's an adult.
Yeah.
And a child. He's obviously fucking broken and should be castrated and shot. I don't say, maybe not shot, but just hospitalized.
I mean, it's like, Jesus. I mean, you know, that's one of those situations where you have the religious right, where they say, you know, oh, we shouldn't allow transgender people in the bathroom because one of them might attack our children. And you know what? It's incidents like this where that point is validated.
The statistics of people being attacked in the bathroom are actually more on male, and not children. And trans don't ever really show aggressive or violent behavior. If like 1 or 2 cases. And the cases that are coming up right now are the fucking right side trying to debunk it, where they're like, oh, yeah, because Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau passed this thing where they're like, you know, they're doing the whole universal bathrooms, where if a student thinks he's a girl, he can go into the girl's bathroom. So, of course, you're going to have incidences where, you know, obviously Jamal, 6'5" black guy, is not a white girl in the bathroom, just trying to be in the bathroom, identifying as a girl. Those are the examples that they're going to use against those cases to prove that, you know, transgenders are violent, which is not true at all.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree.
And it all affects upon the individual, too. I mean, why is this person identified as a girl? You know what I mean? Maybe there's a traumatic issue or something of that nature. And a lot of those people, too, even like there's even a percentage of, like a certain percentage of people that are gay, straight up gay, that are gay simply because something happened to them, because they were either raped by a family member. It's like maybe 20 to 25% or something like that. But I think the biggest issue, though, in the world right now, is that everything is overtly sexualized and progressed onto the children, and there's these expectations, and there's no like sense of like children to be children anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're all thinking about how things should be instead of just throwing their ass out in the dirt and letting them play with sticks. Oh, you can't do that because nobody trusts anybody anymore.
Yeah, because, you know, we've done this to us. We as a society done this to ourselves. It's like,
yeah, very much so.
And it kind of reminds me of the Twilight Zone episode, Monsters on Maple Street.
Good one.
You know, how instead of the aliens attacking us, we're doing it to ourselves. That's exactly what it reminds me of.
Have you ever watched The Outer Limits?
Yeah. I've seen the old one and the new one.
There's this one episode where an entire cul-de-sac was basically like cut off from the rest of the world. And everyone in the town had to come together and realize it's like, there's a barrier between the end of the street and the other end of the street with the stores and no supplies and no food. And like every so often, like, so after months and months and months, they left all the rations. They come to find out that they're actually been ripped off their planet and they were on another universe, basically being conditioned to be a workforce for a dying alien race.
Interesting.
The aliens wanted like mutual complicit. Like they didn't want us to like feel like they were enslaving us, even though they were. They're like, okay, If you can help us build our planet, we'll make sure that you have the most comfortable life. But having, like, how did you feel about that, though? Like, if somebody thought that you yourself, that they knew a better way for you to live, ripped you out from your life, right, and sat you in another world, gave you everything that you could ever want in your life right now, but you have to serve their needs and whatever they want you to do. Like, you know, maybe it's like a filing clerk or some mundane task of building their society. But not given choice. Does that bother you?
Quite honestly, look, it's like you're. To be honest, look, if I was fooled by aliens to think that they could give me a better life, I would be pissed.
I don't blame you. I'd be kind of bad too.
I mean, you know, it's kind of like, you know, like I know what works for me. You know what works for you, but I can't say what works for someone else somewhere else.
If I may ask, are you a submissive personality type or a dominant personality type?
Yeah, a little bit of both.
I could see that. You so you like letting control go, but you also like being in control because you yourself need control.
Yeah, kind of like that. It's like, you know, I need to be in control of my own life, but at the same time, if I wind up in a relationship, I'm not going to be, you know, the dominant one to dictate everything.
Why not? What if you get a woman that just wants you to fuck her all night, wants to give you everything you want all day, and then at night wants you to fuck her all night?
And that's
what she wants.
But what I would say is, do you want to just be, you know, me to control you all the time? Because I mean, look, I want to, you know, I want to be in the type of relationship where, you know, both genders or the same gender plays a dominant and submissive role at the same time.
Right, but you may not find that. You may find a woman that's completely a dominant. You may find a woman that's completely submissive. For you, though, I think you're going to probably find someone on the even keel, though, like someone that's just like on your level of both sides, though. Like the right person for you is going to be a mixture. It might not even be a girl.
Yeah. See, you know what sucks though about being in your, I mean, of course, I mean, I think you would know, but I think what sucks about being in your early 20s is that, you know, now suddenly you're an adult, but yet at the same time, though, it's like this like sudden cloud of loneliness comes above.
Wait till you get up here, young blood. I'm almost 30. I went through the loneliness for a long time when I was like 22, 21, and I spent the hours and hours and hours meditating. I used to be knee-deep into the occult and the esoteric, the Book of Tiamat, the Tetragrammaton, different forms of the Bible, different fucking texts, Solomon, Lesser Keys, and everything. And I come to realize, though, reading all these, the universal truth is the religions. This is it. It's not that complex. There's really no answer to God. It says everything is just the same thing under a different name.
Yeah.
It is. It's a story that's told and retold and retold, but it's never been true.
I mean, I could agree that, you know, that a lot of religions just use the same stories over and over. But you know,
hold on one second, and I'm sorry, but Crawley, I gotta say this. Aleister Crowley started a religion called Thelema. Quietly fascinates me, very organized in thoughts. It's the one true religion, and I'll explain why. Fucking aliens, that's why. Okay, I'm good.
But I've been to every now and then I've been doing Buddhism type meditation. I have tree scented mala beads and all that, and it works. It honestly, legitimately works. For a long time, I thought meditation was just bullshit, but it isn't. It actually works.
It does. It does, especially helpful though if you meditate with a specific animal or a pet type. At the time, I had a cat. And I had my routine. I'd wake up, I had my coffee, I go out, I look for cigarettes, I have a cigarette, I come back home, and then I would just like, I'd sit there on my floor with my lights off for a little bit, and my cat would go right there on my shoulder. A lot of times, though, like when you do these things and you're close to animals, you can actually form some sort of pseudo spiritual bond with an animal. But a friend of mine wanted me to notice something today, and I don't think anyone's bringing it up, but has anybody like have been noticing the excessive self-awareness that animals have been portraying in these days of late? Like I've been noticing like recently too, a lot of animals are like exuding very self-aware behavior.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, I believe personally that every living being has a type of soul. I believe animals have a soul as well. I think that a lot of people are starting to notice that animals are like humans.
Can we rename the word soul to consciousness?
I don't know.
I think it's the same thing. I think consciousness and being self-aware is the soul. I think we just gave it a different name because how I see you and how you see me and how we're doing this over the vastness of fucking internet magic, because that's what it is. It's rock magic that's like now no longer part of the rocks and leaves and twigs, but in the air. So it's sort of like some kind of pseudo. No, actually, the internet is magic. Would you agree?
Yeah, in a way.
It's a form of magic. The internet is a living form of magic. So it's like, fuck it. I have to bunk out. My phone's about to die, my brother.
Yeah. It's been great having you on again.
No, it's been great, James. You want to do this again soon?
Yeah.
All right, my brother.
Really,
you have a good night.
Yeah, we really do have to continue the pansexual podcast, though. Shit.
Do people want to see it?
I don't know. People who are watching this, maybe not now, but at a later time, leave a comment in the description box below if you want to see another episode of the pansexual podcast.
Yeah, if you guys want to see it, because I have no problem. Like, we can delve up some really cool introspective ideas for the podcast. I wanted to go really, really, really deep into personality types. But, I mean, I want to make, we're not doing it for Nay.
Mm-hmm.
But, thank you for having me.
No problem. Anytime. Yep, you too. Good night. So, okay. So, I'm going to continue this for a little bit before I end it. But yeah, it's been great. It was great having Walter on again. So, how do I put it in a particular way? And I want to say this, and I do. With all the shit happening in this world today, with the multiple attacks on, tourists and American military members and, U.S. citizens overseas and all that, and other, people from all around the globe, this world is scarier than it was before. And I'm not just saying that in a paranoid stance. I'm saying it because it's true. It's getting scarier. It's getting to the point where you don't know who's trustworthy and who's not. I don't know. It's getting, truthfully, really scary out in the world. But that doesn't mean that you have to curl yourself up in a ball and shut yourself away for a long while. No. Live life. Take chances. Take risks, because that's the best thing that you could do. So um uh know who's gonna be watching this later, but if you guys wanna see more movie reviews on my channel, by all means leave a comment in the description box below. Uh, this election took a lot out of me politically. It changed my political views, and I think after this, general election, whoever gets, and I'm going to lay off of politics for a while, and I'm going to just do strictly movie reviews. So let me know in the comments box down below which films you want me to review. Let me know if there's a certain VHS tape that you want me to review. By all means, if I can't find it at my local Salvation Army, chances are I'll try to buy it off Amazon. But yeah. But I will tell you a VHS movie review I will be doing, and the movie is This Is Elvis. I'll give you a brief history on it. It was supposed to be a documentary that followed Elvis on his final, well, not his final tour, but his latest and brand new U.S. cities tour that even Elvis knew himself was complete bullshit. Yeah, I'll be reviewing that sometime in the future. See you guys.